Good day to everybody. We are meeting today to see how KEG cards work with trauma. We're going to do trauma work with KEG cards. I want to remind you all that everybody here is an actor. These are all actors. You are all actors. You have scripts. We are doing role play so that any connection between this and real people is by chance only. Okay, the first exercise that we're going to do together to see how KEG cards work is think about a trauma in your life. Think about something that happened in your life, some event that you would like to clear up, that has negative energy connected with it, that you think about today, that bothers you today, and you would like to deal with it better. Either think about it better or not have the energy, the negative energy that's connected with it. You would like to get rid of it. You would like to feel better about some incident in your life. And that's what we're dealing with today. Trauma doesn't have to be incest. It doesn't have to be murder. It doesn't have to be witness to an accident. Trauma can be something very simple, like when I was 3 years old, my father slapped my face because I spilt the milk. Or maybe I brought home a report card that was not so very good, and my father said, nothing good is going to come of you. You are really not very smart. And I remember it to this day. Trauma can be that you had a fight at school with some child, and the child hit you and you didn't hit back. And so you go through your life thinking, I'm weak, I don't hit back. And whenever you have a challenge, you think, do I want to hit back? Don't I want to hit back? Can I protect myself? And it really started with the trauma when another boy or girl hit you at school and you did not hit back. So, please think of a trauma and choose cards that represent this trauma for you. You can choose 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards, 5 cards, as many as you need for the trauma. And what we are going to do is everybody choose the pictures they want. These are pictures from KEG cards. On the other side we have questions, and these are the questions that I will ask you. So you choose pictures, and then we clear the table. And then anybody who wants presents their story with the pictures. And then after you talk about your story, I'm going to ask you, how distressful is it? How bad do you feel from 1 to 10? In other words, what is your SUDS? SUDS is SUDS, S-U-D-S, subjective unit of distress. In other words, how distressful is it for me from 1 to 10? 10 being very distressful, 1 being not distressful, and you might even get to 0 where is, I don't care at all, I'm very indifferent. And then I'm going to ask you, this is the best part of it, after you tell your trauma, you talk about it, you show the cards, your pictures, and you talk about it, and you give it a SUDS, a number. I'm going to ask you, what can we do to make it better? What can we do so that you will feel better? Is there a card that you can take away, or a picture you can take away, and another picture you can put in its place, and you will feel better? And you decide. If there is, you exchange cards, you take away one, you put in one, and then you tell the story again. And we'll all listen to the narrative. You tell us, you walk us through it again, and then I ask you again, what is the SUDS now? Maybe you went down to 7, 8, whatever you feel like. There's no rule here, and there's no judgment here. You do what you feel like. Then you tell the story again. And each time, if you want, as long as you want, you take a card away, you put a card in, you tell the story again of the trauma, and then you go down, 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 down with your SUDS until you feel you've had enough. So each person decides when you've had enough. And then somebody else will tell their narrative. So that's our plan of today. So please think of a trauma and choose pictures that represent your trauma.
Since I was working with this trauma so many times, repeatedly, I still feel that I have something to work with still.
Maybe today will be the last time
I
you have
hope.
to work with it.
I'm praying.
Because this is something different today.
Yeah.
Because
right.
we're going to your amygdala.
Yeah.
We're going to your amygdala.
Yeah.
And we're not just in your frontal cortex.
Okay.
So could you tell us?
Yeah. Once upon a time, there was a very cheerful, happy 4 or 5 years old girl, which this one represent her, but she was much younger.
Okay, it's when I was much younger.
When I was much younger, like 4 or 5 years old. She knew what she's about. I knew what I'm about. I was cheerful, very opinionated, and a very strong sense of justice. Anyway, the scene was like that. My father came from work.
Let's talk about it in present tense.
Okay.
My father is
He's
coming
coming
home from work.
From work.
And
my mother is very angry with my elder brother. And she's yapping and yapping and yapping about him, what he did and he did and he did to her, or to the way that he behaved that night, that day. And my father didn't care much. He took out his belt and he started hitting my brother, and very strong. And I was like, don't do it to him, and tried to protect my brother. And he pushed me away, and I didn't have power. So I ran quickly to my mother to tell her, please stop him, stop him. So she said to me, I'll never forget it, it was in the kitchen door. She was like that, standing, and I was a little, this is your father. Now, ever since then, I felt like I have no face. And the people, I mean, my family is looking at me, who is she? Like people, like I didn't feel like I'm worth, my sense of worthness, my power, my livelihood went away. It has to do with rejection. It has to do with you're not worth anything. You are not. The sense of justice is not correct in your maybe, and somehow it managed my life. For many years I had a throat problem. I didn't talk. I was speechless.
Because nobody listens to what you say?
It was like this. Who are you? It's not your business to do it.
Like you're air, you don't exist.
Many years afterwards, I told my brother and my mother about it. He said, oh, you imagine. So even later, he denied it. He probably took himself to a different place. And maybe she remembered, maybe she not, maybe the guilt that she felt. I don't blame nobody for that. I made peace also with my father and with my mother, who didn't know better. My father, who really didn't know better because he came out from a German upbringing, and they dealt with throwing him to the cellar when he was a bad boy. And my mother was angry from the whole day, and he came late from work and very tired, so he didn't have any patience. So immediately threw all his nerves on my brother. Later on, I detached myself from them. This was my reaction.
Your defense.
Maybe my defense also, because first of all, my father is like a monster in this sin, and I was afraid from him very much. Since then, we were good friends since then, I mean up to then. And my mother, whom didn't do nothing, also I didn't care much for. So I was living in a very loving house, but detached and not connected to a very warm and normative family.
As if.
It was, no, because the violence was not everyday thing. It was not that it was like I was in a habit. It was one incident, but on me,
for you, it was
like a ripping my character away and putting me in a very different emotional and since then maybe I will start eating. I don't know how, but it was traumatic, very traumatic. That's it.
What suds would you give it? Subjective unit of distress. How distressful is it for you when you think about it, from 1 to 10? 10 being very distressful.
Well, I can't say I didn't work on my trauma ever since then.
Now when you talk
but
about it...
it is like a shadow in my life. It is still, if I'm still crying on this incident, which is not, it didn't happen to my body, but it happened to my ego.
To your soul.
To my soul. I'm working with people, I'm very loved by people, I'm doing things, but I know that I have some issue level with coupling, with giving trust to a man or to myself, to my self-value, and it still affects me. So I can tell you it's still a 6 or 7, maybe, I don't know, but it seems to me that it still, and I'm now 64 years old, and it happened to me about 60 years ago.
So it's about time.
It's a little ridiculous.
It's about time we lower the suds. We make it less distressful.
Yeah, right.
We take out the negative energy.
Yeah, of course.
Take a deep breath. Now, you have a job to do.
Okay.
Is think about the story and take away 1 card, or maybe 2 if you want.
Okay.
And put something else in their place to make the story less distressful.
Okay. First of all,
you take something away and you put something back.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to, because it seems like this also stands between me and my brother. Although I was much younger than him, 6 years younger than him, the way that he sees the world and the way that I see the world is different, because he did develop himself, but the connection between us is very, very
hazy.
Hazy. He loves me, I love him, but it's not a real...
There's something missing?
For me.
For you.
Yeah. So I would love to...
Show
and
me
I
the picture.
feel like I'm his older sister.
You feel like the older sister
because
and not
of
the
what
younger
happened.
sister.
He's the older, but yeah, and he doesn't want really to deal with my problem.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
Of this, forget. Okay,
Show me the picture.
So like a nice, loving friendship between brothers and sisters.
So you would like a better relationship with your brother?
Yeah, and I would like to take his very stressful face in mine.
Okay, good.
Take it away.
Now take all the cards together, all the pictures,
Okay.
and tell us the story again.
Okay.
Remember, you're telling it I, first person,
Okay.
and present. And we're going to make the story better.
Once upon a time, I had a very good connection with my brother, and very good connection with my mother, and very good connection with my father, which I don't see here, but we'll take this one, okay? And then a trauma happened.
How old are you when
I was very young. I was 5 or 4 years old.
Okay, I am 5 years old.
I'm 5 years old.
And I have a very good connection
with all my family, with all the members of my family. Later on came another boy.
Wait, let's say it slowly.
Yeah.
I am 5 years old.
I'm 5 years old.
I have a very good relationship
with my parents, with my loving parents, with my brother, my elder brother that I look towards him, and my father.
And my father.
And my father was my best friend, really my best friend.
My father is my best friend.
My father is my best friend. Every Friday, we didn't have much money that time, and bus was only on Friday. You should think. So when he would come home after work on Friday, he would do himself a bath, and I would sit on the toilet seat and tell him about everything. And we had such a good connection, and he was my best. We have such a good connection.
And he is my best friend.
He is my best friend. He's my abale. And then after this incident that he comes and he hit my brother, and he's so cruel and so I don't know this guy. I don't know my father anymore. He's a monster. And he traumatized me by the way that he behaved towards me and by the injustice that he did to my brother by hitting him. So
do you have a picture for that?
Somehow I'm connected to this one, I don't know. And it's not so much my mother anymore, because
why?
I feel that she was
she is
sorry for what she's doing, and yet she doesn't dare fixing it.
Why doesn't she dare?
Because maybe she has guilt that she caused it all, and maybe she should have told my father after dinner. The reaction would be much less.
So she feels she might have caused it.
I need a tissue now, finally.
Good.
With my brain now, I can understand the situation. I still don't think that it was right to hit my brother or to throw me out, like almost on the floor. It was not right, because I disturbed him hitting him. So in this picture now I see like a remorse father. He's like a little sad what he caused.
So here he's sad about what he did.
Yeah, and she's also sad about what they did. But I'm still not this girl that I want to be.
How do you feel now? What is your suds now? When you talk about the story?
It's about 5 or 4.
Would you like to do this again and make it better? Or would you like
Always.
to leave it? Always. Okay. So now, take away some pictures that make you feel bad and substitute a picture or pictures, 1 or 2, that make you feel better.
Okay. I can see me with my mother holding me as strong as she can.
How old
and
are you
she's
there?
safe. I am here 6 years old.
I am 6 years old.
5
years old.
5, 6 years
and
old.
And my mother is hugging me.
Hugging me, and I'm like in heaven. I know that this is the safest place in the world. And my brother is with me, very best friend. And I can take a walk in the wood when I feel like. I can be my own person, and I'm like sure of myself, very pretty, slim, nice looking, sure of myself. And to make it all perfect, my father is in the picture, not like so many years that I ignore his existence. And he's doing the right thing in every sense. Support, cuddling, and happy with me. With no criticism, and with acceptance, and with involvement in my life, asking questions, showing that he cares.
How do you feel when you talk about this story now, at this moment?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. Because it wasn't like that. So tell me the story now again in present tense. You're there. We're getting into your amygdala. I am 5 years old.
I'm 5 years old.
My dad comes home.
And my mother is telling me about about my brother, how he misbehaved today. And he's calling my brother and telling, please don't do it again.
What picture would that be? Please don't do it again. You can find a picture maybe here. Please don't do it again.
Maybe this one.
Okay, please don't do it again. I'm not happy.
Yeah, and my brother is promising like he always promised. No problem, Dad. It will be okay.
I won't do it again.
I won't do it again. And then my mother prepared dinner.
My mother is
preparing dinner, and I'm nudging her, and she said, "Go play with your brother. Leave me alone now."
And here's the picture of the brother and the sister playing.
And
you're playing with your brother.
And tell your dad that he can wash his hands and come to the table. And here we are, one big happy family.
One big happy family, yes. How do you feel now?
Much better.
What suds would you give this story now?
Well, 2 maybe. It's like right now, yeah.
Do you feel like you finished it? To some extent, or do you want to go on?
No, I want to meet both of my parents, but they're not here.
Okay, so I have homework for you.
Okay.
Your homework is to write a letter to each of your parents and to your brother about the incident. How you feel now, how you felt then. And how you feel now and what you want now.
Okay. Okay.
Do you feel like you have finished it? Is that enough for now? Or is there something else you would like to do?
No, I don't. I feel that I need like, not to work with it, but
to think about it.
It's not even thinking. I know my worth. I know how I'm worth. I'm okay. I'm a good person. I'm interesting. I wish I didn't have this sadness in me. That disturb my life. Make it on hold instead of living it.
We can do another little exercise before we finish with it. I feel it's still missing. Take this sadness and think of it as a form. A circle, a square, a box, something.
Okay.
This sadness in you.
It's a gray box.
It's a gray box.
With round
corners, edges, corners. And where is this sadness in you?
In my heart.
Show me where. Okay. Now, can you take this sadness and take it out? If you could take it out, how would you do it? Would you pull it out? Would you vomit it? How would you get rid of it?
Since it's flexible, I would squeeze it out from
your mouth?
Through my mouth, yes.
Okay, so imagine you're doing it. You're squeezing it out through your mouth.
Okay.
This little gray flexible box. Now, what do we do with it now that we have it out? You don't want it in you.
No, I can make out of it a heart shape.
Ah, that's a wonderful idea.
And paint it.
That's very good. You paint it red.
Not yet, I could.
Ah, well, if you can, why don't you do it? If you could, then do it.
I know.
Can you imagine doing it?
Maybe I need this sadness in me, I don't know. Maybe it's part of who I am right now, and my ability to understand other people's sadness. I don't know if I want to get rid of it so much.
So that's something for homework. Think about. You have to do anything. Think about if you choose to keep it, or if you choose to take it out and change it. If you choose to change it, imagine you make it into a heart shape, and you paint it red, and then you can put it back in.
Right now it's a shape of red inside me, made out of foam, this type of flexible material.
In fact, we have one there in the corner. Can you get it, Ronit? There's a little red heart right there. Yeah,
exactly this one.
There, you can have it. I will give it to you as a present. Since it's exactly what you need.
Exactly what I need.
You can have it. Thank you.